All right, welcome to Custom Creator. I am OGL Schmitt, and still in the Halloween spirit of things because we've got an election coming up here in the States, and those are absolutely terrifying. Those also make me think of greed and corruption. And that makes me remember that it's been far too long since I've reacted to Ren. Ren talks about those things a lot. The last time I reacted to Ren, he was discussing corruption and greed and things like that in the three-part Money Game series. I loved reacting to that. And now he's got a new song, which seems to be in a similar vein, called Money Ties, which is Money Ties, Monetize, Money Ties, Mon- Money Ties, Monetize. Ren's wordplay is amazing. That is classic Ren right there, obviously intentional. Um, so Renegades, owe you guys an apology. This has been way too long coming, so I want to dive into this. But first, ironically enough, please let me try to pay the bills here. There's a number of ways to support the channel. We have a Buy Me a Coffee link. That's just a $5 donation, which gets you one suggestion, fast track to the front of the line. We'll have it out in a couple of days. We have memberships for the channel, $2 and $5 versions, and there's some very cool exclusive content there, exclusive reactions, behind the scenes videos, just some weird and funny stuff from Danny. He's very good at things like that. Um, and we also have a Patreon in a similar vein. And we have a Discord, which is absolutely free, but we're always looking for loud, passionate, weird voices that just want to talk about stuff. And if you'd like to join our Discord, just leave us a link in the, or let us know in the comments, what I'm trying to say, and we will send you a link. There we go. So this just helps us try to maintain the channel, try to make it better, help improve our audio and visual quality. So with that being said, appreciate your patience. Let's let Ren make us intellectually and artistically richer now, shall we? Let's dive into Money Ties.
Godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path and pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Once again, I owe the Renegades an apology. I talk about how long it's been since I've reacted to Ren and how much I want to jump back into it, and I cut the poor guy off before he starts singing. I just wanted to comment on that intro. Beautiful arrangement underneath the spoken words there. I love the birds chirping in the beginning and the orchestral piece that played underneath it. It felt very pastoral, like, walk down a moonlit beach type thing. Um, and I understand the sentiment of what they're trying to evoke with this. But I disagree. I disagree in the idea that desiring money is automatically bad. It's not. I grew up poor. Being poor sucks. On the plus side, I think everyone should grow up poor because it does teach you things. You learn how to make the most of what you have. Um, you learn to value the things that you have. But yeah, I grew up wanting to have money because I didn't want my dad to stay up late at night, losing sleep, worrying about paying his bills. I didn't want the family, including my father, who had a heart condition and an untreated hernia. I didn't want them having to walk to work because we couldn't afford to get the car fixed. You know, I didn't want to worry about where our next meal was coming from. And money also kind of it keeps you from being overly reliant on the kindness of strangers. So there's nothing wrong with the desire for money. In fact, the idea that that's bad is also harmful because that is what tyrants will do to keep people in line, to keep them from gaining power and independence. The Catholic Church says, "Blessed are the poor." Meanwhile, the Vatican is worth, what we know of, $72 billion. If the poor are so blessed, why does the Vatican have investments in banking and insurance? You see what I mean? So it's a very complex issue, and I have this feeling that Ren is going to delve into that complexity because it's what I like about Ren, is he doesn't leave any perspective unturned. So appreciate y'all listening to that. Let's go back to Ren here. I'm going to start this from the beginning so I can take that all in and we can catch his entrance, because Ren's voice is very distinct, it's unmistakable, and I very much missed it. So let us do this.
Godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path and pierced themselves with the many pangs of greed.
Money makes, money makes, money makes the world go round. Money makes a pure man lawless, proud. Money makes a man's verb consummate the noun. Cause an action to a thing is inspired by the pound or the dollar. False prophet, preach profit and we follow. When the scholar teach dishonor, that's a bitter pill to swallow. The biggest bank robber are the banks and the politicians, but judiciary are whores, what a shock. When we lose sight of live and let live, forget your soul is made much richer by the love that you give. If you're living just to make a living, that's all that is. And when you're lying, slowly dying, well you die with a grin. Now digging up the root of evil, money too like a blade. You can slice across the jugular or carve and create. But when the money ain't the means, but the means is the money, you start to compromise ideals for dollars, morals get bloody. Now let me tell you a little story about a boy named Ren. Born March 1990 in the Celtic Welsh ends. We didn't have much, but mum and dad, they made enough to put hot meals on the table, fill our bellies full of love. A little sister fell into the picture. Oh my God, we loved her, made our family richer. Then we both got older, world a little colder. Life, it had a way of chipping away at that shoulder. I held her and I told her, hierarchy, status exists. Sometimes the purity of youth gets snatched, leaving you stripped. You'll learn that love is not enough, it's not a world for a kid. So toughen up and buckle up, because it's bumpy as shit. And there'll be those who take advantage of the light in your soul. And there'll be times you feel the cup you're filling leaking with holes. And that dark can get much darker, we all must grow old. But listen up, my little sister, hold these words to your close. Keep that kind heart kind, humankind are in need. Never ever let this world make you bitter like me. Because this world needs love, and love it leaks from you, see. Sis, this world needs light, and you're the brightest I see. I see your wings have feather more than ever. Mine were torn by my oppressor. Sickness scorn me, but whatever. By your side we fly together. Give me flight when I could never. A releasing of the pressure, and the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Fuck greed, fuck depression, fuck bullies, fuck the jealous. Fuck every man who made you feel less than a treasure. And fuck a world that makes us feel small. Fuck the forces that divide us. Now's the time to stand tall, because money makes...
All right. The second verse was unexpected. Um, it's a song about greed and corruption, and we get this very beautiful and sentimental verse about his little sister, um, which hits kind of hard because grew up in a small family, just me, mom, dad, and sister. I had a big sister though. I feel pretty much the same way about her as Ren is talking about his sister here. Before I go into that, I do want to talk about the music, because it's real easy to get swallowed up in Ren's storytelling, and you forget his the way he does his arrangements is genius in a lot of ways. There aren't a lot of elements in this song. You have a very solid beat which goes through, and Ren's internal metronome is something else, because he is able to sort of dance around that beat. Like sometimes he'll lock in step with it, sometimes he'll work around it, just amazingly well. I like the variety that he uses in his voice. Um, Ren's basic, the sound I'm familiar with is this very sort of like strong nasal sound that's got a bit of snark in it. It also feels like there's a lot of wisdom as well. Um, and as far as the arrangements go, there's a few elements there. Like I hear there's the beat, there's the like a piano that I hear come in. There are some keyboard elements that sort of feel like an orchestration, and he will sort of swap these out. Brent is really, really good at using space, because sometimes he'll drop certain things out and leave uh, like maybe just the drums or just the piano to carry, and then everything else will re-enter. Sometimes he'll drop everything else out and just have his vocals. He's really good at having elements drop in and out to make it feels almost like it feels orchestral or symphonic, if you will, despite the fact that it's minimalist seemingly in nature. Um, really well done. Um, always appreciated his arrangement skills, and I think sometimes I've had a tendency to dwell so much on his lyrics and his storytelling that I kind of forget how clever a lot of his arrangements are and how they support his storytelling. I think he's good at knowing how to use the music to emphasize certain words or certain verses within a song. There are two lyrics here that stuck out to me. If you're living just to make a living, that's all there is. And when the money ain't the means, but the means is the money. And that, I think, he hit the nail on the head. There's nothing wrong with wanting money for a means to support your family, for independence, to help your loved ones. Um, but when you make money just so you can make more money, when it simply becomes about the acquisition and not the usage of, that is when corruption sets in. That's when you become selfish. That's when it's like you can't give because then you wouldn't have as much. That's where the danger is. There's nothing wrong with desiring it. You have to desire it for a good reason. Uh, the money has to be the means. The means can't be the money. Um, also, the living just to make a living. And I know sometimes people get swept into that. Their intentions may be pure. It's like, I'm going to work 60 hours a day. And I'm going to, build up this bank account where no one in my family is ever going to have to want for anything. And you sort of get drilled into that. You're working to the point where you sort of become this machine and you forget, there's a family there that appreciates what you're providing, but would also like to see you, would also like to interact with you. You're dismissing yourself as a person. You're subtracting who you are as a person from their lives in order to add more financial security. And that's not always a good trade-off. There's nothing wrong with working a little bit extra to provide, but you always got to be there. And it's one thing I always appreciated about my father. He worked tirelessly, and but he always found time to be a dad. Mother's the same way. When dad passed away, she had to do that. She worked 3 jobs to make ends meet, but always found time to be a parent and a friend, which I appreciate. And some people lose that. Can't do that. And Bren's voice going from that snarky, biting tone to this very soothing, very personal, very conversational, almost spoken word in this verse about his sister. Yeah, I love that transition. It's very subtle, but it's one that you feel. And let me see if I can bring up some lyrics here. The one that's stuck in my head. I see your wings have feather more than ever. Mine were torn by my oppressor. Sickness scorned me, but whatever. By your side we fly together. Give me flight when I could never. I love that. Sickness scorned me, but whatever. Bren's been through so much. But his spirit is still intact. He's a fighter. So much respect, and I'm glad he seems to be on the mend. So I'm babbling a lot again. So let's. I want to play that verse about his sister again, and we'll get into this. Get back into it.
Ideals for dollars, morals get bloody. Now let me tell you a little story about a boy named Bren. Born March 1990 in the Celtic Welsh ends. We didn't have much, but mum and dad, they made enough to put hot meals on the table, fill our bellies full of love. A little sister fell into the picture. Oh my God, we loved her, made our family richer. Then we both got older, world a little colder. Life, it had a way of chipping away at that shoulder. I held her and I told her, hierarchy, status exists. Sometimes the purity of youth gets snatched, leaving you stripped. You'll learn that love is not enough, it's not a world for a kid. So toughen up and buckle up, because it's bumpy as shit. And now there'll be those who take advantage of the light in your soul. And there'll be times you feel the cup you're filling leaking with holes. And that dark can get much darker, we all must grow old. But listen up, my little sister, hold these words to your close. Keep that kind heart kind, humankind are in need. Never ever let this world make you bitter like me. Because this world needs love, and love it leaks from you, see. Sis, this world needs light, and you're the brightest I see. I see your wings have feather more than ever. Mine were torn by my oppressor. Sickness scorn me, but whatever. By your side we fly together. Give me flight when I could never. A releasing of the pressure, and the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Fuck greed, fuck depression, fuck bullies, fuck the jealous. Fuck every man who made you feel less than a treasure. And fuck a world that makes us feel small. Fuck the forces that divide us. Now's the time to stand tall, because money makes the world go round. Money makes the sick boy sicker somehow. Money gets a man mug punched in his mouth. Money run the gang thug, drug money plow. Money makes open case close. Money bend love, make war, make ghosts. Money gives a poor man hope. Money saves lives, takes lives, money both. Money is, money isn't, money's just that. Money's just a concept, people are trying. Tax up the poor man, feed up the fire. Money's just cash. Take money, take money, take money, take. Fake money, fake money, fake money, fake. Money ties, money ties, money ties, ayy. Money lies, money lies, money lies, ayy.
Fuck a world that makes us feel small. Fuck the forces that divide us. Now's the time to stand tall. That's it's a great sentiment. That needs to be. Ren, if you're watching, put that on a shirt. I'll buy one for me, one for all my family, and one for all my friends. Um, all four of them. It's a great. I love how, again, the transition from the loving sentiment towards his sister, um, and then basically, fuck the world, it's just us. I love that. Absolutely beautiful. Also, the pressure makes a diamond. I will shine with you forever. Yep. Ren's just an amazing wordsmith, and everything from the heart as well. It's as sort of theatrical as his presentation can be and his performance can be. Uh, his uh, his vocals and his lyrics obviously are just there's no filter there. It's heart to brain to mouth, and it's beautiful to hear. Um, I mean, good for his sister having someone like Ren to stand by you. Uh, Also, the transition he did from his rapping to his singing, like all of a sudden just shifted and became melodic, and there were some like descending runs he was doing, and it almost had a reggae feel to it. Yeah, just he's very versatile and just such a seemingly an unlimited bag of expression that he has in his voice, which is whilst it's at the same time still sounding uniquely Ren. So I think I mentioned before that in the end, I'm sure Ren was going to cover all the bases perspective wise. First of all, money makes the sick boy sicker somehow. I like that. I like how he's turned his illness into sort of a almost like a superhero type avatar, the sick boy. It's empowering, in its vulnerability. I like that. Um, Money's just a concept people attract. Money's just cash, and that's money can't do anything until a human puts it into play. Um, it's just paper with green ink on it. The same thing like a car, a gun, anything. So the problem isn't the money. The problem is the person, is the intentions. Um, so by all means, dream, guys. Dream of having money, but just remember why you want it. You want it there so you can help the people around you. If someone has a flat tire, you can be like, here, go fix it. If someone's phone is broken, you can give them money and say, here, there you go, fix that. Just because when you do that, you can protect someone. He said sometimes the world's not for a kid. Don't let your heart harden. I think if you're in a position where you can give like that, you can keep people, you can sort of protect them from that hardening. You can't protect everyone from everything, but I think people will feel better knowing that they have a friend who is willing to do that for them, let alone able. So, yeah, money can do great things. Money can do, well, people can do great things with money. People can do terrible things with money. So, nothing wrong with this, with aspiring to prosperity. Just make sure you share that prosperity with the people that you love, and uh, and don't be afraid to show kindness to strangers because you never know what a random act of kindness might do for someone. So, um, I could probably go on for hours about stuff like this, but I'm just gonna say Ren is awesome. I love the song. I love the arrangement. I love how it's got really pretty melodies woven within this really insistent rhythm. I like how his vocals can highlight either one of those aspects of it. I like the let's call it orchestral minimalism that he brings to his arrangements, and I love how honest and from the heart his music and his lyrics are. So, Renegades, thank you very much for watching this. I won't keep you waiting weeks for the next Ren reaction. Promise Children of the Moon. Uh, I think I'll probably go with that next. Chalk Outlines has been another popular one. But yeah, just keep the suggestions coming and I'll start this train back up. So, thank you very much for your time. Mental health is very real. Be a part of the start. Music is your best support group, it's your best motivational speaker. So, listen to it frequently and take care of yourself so that you're able to take care of others. Thank you very much, guys. Be seeing you around.